Ashtadasha Vidyas, Ashtadash Vidya, the 18 traditional knowledge systems of Sanatana Dharma. Introduction. The Ashtadasha Vidyas, or Ashtadasha Vidyastanas, constitute the classical framework of knowledge in the Sanatana Dharma tradition. They represent a comprehensive, integrated system of learning that encompasses spiritual, philosophical, scientific, practical, and artistic domains. These 18 branches were regarded as the foundational abodes of knowledge, Vidyasthana, essential for understanding dharma, righteousness, duties, and cosmic order, and for the holistic development of the individual. The classification is primarily drawn from the Vishnu Purana, the 6th of March 2028-29, with parallel references in the Vayu Purana, Bhavishya Purana, and traditional commentaries. The first 14 are often called the Chaturdasha Vidyastanas. They are primarily concerned with dharma. The additional 4, the Upavedas, extend the framework into applied and worldly sciences, integrating artha, material prosperity and governance, and kama, aesthetic and sensory refinement, with the higher goals of dharma and moksha. Scriptural basis. The foundational verses from the Vishnu Purana are Augani Vedaschatvaro Mimansa Nyayvistra, Purana Dharmashastrancha Vidya Hetashchaturdash Ayurvedo Dhanurvedo, Gan Dharvashchetyanukramat, Arthashastram Parantasmat, Vidya Ashtadash Smrita. Translation. The 6 Angas, the 4 Vedas, Mimamsa, the extensive Nyaya, the Puranas, and the Dharma Shastras, these constitute the 14 sciences. Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Arthashastra as the 4th these make the 18 sciences. 1. The 4 Vedas, Chaturveda. These form the root and primary source of all knowledge in the tradition. Rig Veda, the oldest Veda, a collection of hymns suktas addressed to various deities. It embodies cosmology, philosophy, and the poetic vision of the rishis. It is the foundation of Vedic literature and spiritual insight. Yajurveda, the Veda of sacrificial formulas and rituals. It provides the precise liturgical instructions for the performance of yagnas and is divided into the Krishna, black, and Shukla, white traditions. Samaveda, the Veda of melodies and chants. Most of its verses are drawn from the Rig Veda and set to musical patterns for ritual singing. It is the source of Indian classical music traditions. Atharva Veda contains hymns, spells, and practical knowledge related to healing, protection, daily life, and worldly concerns. It bridges the spiritual and the practical domains of existence. 2. The 6 Vedangas, Shadvedaugani. These auxiliary disciplines were developed to preserve, interpret, and correctly apply the Vedas. They are traditionally compared to the limbs of the Veda Purusha. Shiksha, phonetics concerned with the proper pronunciation, articulation, accent svara, and intonation of Vedic mantras. It ensures the preservation of the sonic and spiritual power of the sacred texts. Vyakarana, Vyakaran, grammar, the science of grammar and linguistic analysis. Panini's Ashtadhyayi is the supreme expression of this discipline. It analyses the structure of language so that meaning is accurately understood and expressed. Chandas, prosody, deals with the metrical structure of Vedic and classical poetry. It is essential for the proper recitation, composition, and aesthetic appreciation of verses. Nirukta, etymology, the science of etymology and semantic analysis. Yaska's Nirukta is the principal text. It explains the origin and contextual meaning of difficult or archaic Vedic words. Jyotisha, Jyotish, astronomy and time, the science of astronomy and the measurement of time. It determines auspicious timings muhurta for rituals and includes observational astronomy of celestial bodies. Kalpakalp, ritual procedure, provides the procedural framework for Vedic rituals. It comprises the Shrauta, Grihya, Dharma, and Shulba Sutras, giving detailed rules for public and domestic ceremonies, as well as geometric principles for altar construction. 3. The 4 Upangas, Upaugani. These supporting disciplines systematize interpretation, logic, narrative tradition, and ethical legal principles. Purana Puran. The vast body of traditional lore that includes cosmology, genealogy of kings and sages, itihasa, often subsumed under Purana, ethical teachings, and popular exposition of Vedic truths. The 18 Mahapuranas form its core. Mimamsa, the science of Vedic interpretation and ritual exegesis. Purva Mimamsa, Jaimini focuses on dharma as revealed through Vedic injunctions. Uttara Mimamsa, Vedanta, deals with the knowledge of Brahman. Nyaya logic, epistemology, and the means of valid knowledge pramanas. It provides rigorous methods of reasoning and debate. Vaisheshika is often included within its scope in this classification. Dharma Shastra, the treatises on law, ethics, social duties, and righteous conduct, Manu, Yajnavalkya, and other smritis. They translate eternal principles into practical guidelines for individual and societal life. 4. The 4 Upavedas, Upaveda. These are the practical extensions of Vedic knowledge, traditionally associated with one Veda each. They apply Vedic principles to worldly domains. Ayurveda, Ayurved, science of life. The science of life and longevity. It is a complete system of medicine covering prevention, diagnosis, treatment, surgery, sushruta, and rejuvenation, associated primarily with the Rig Veda, or sometimes Atharva Veda. Principal texts include Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, and Ashtanga Hridaya. Dhanurved, science of warfare. The science of archery, martial arts, and warfare. It includes training in weapons, strategy, ethics of combat, and the use of force in the service of dharma, associated with the Yajurveda. Gandharva Ved, science of music and arts. The science of music, dance, and the performing arts. It deals with svara, raga, thala, drama, and aesthetics, associated with the Samaveda. It forms the foundation of classical Indian music and Natya. Arthashastra, science of polity. The science of polity, economics, statecraft, and practical administration. Kautilya's Arthashastra is its most famous expression. In some traditional reckonings, Sthapatya Veda, Shilpa Shastra, architecture, sculpture, and town planning is substituted for or included with it, associated with the Atharva Veda. Significance and holistic vision. The Ashtadasha Vidyas were not isolated subjects, but an interconnected curriculum of the Gurukula system. A student who mastered them was considered fully educated, equipped for dharma, capable in worldly affairs, refined in aesthetic sensibility, and oriented toward liberation. They reflect a civilizational understanding that true knowledge integrates the transcendent and the immanent. The Vedas and Vedangas preserve and interpret sacred revelation. Mimamsa, Nyaya, and Dharma Shastra provide the intellectual and ethical tools to apply it. The Puranas make the truths accessible through narrative, and the Upavedas ensure that knowledge serves life in its fullness, health, defense of order, beauty, and just governance. In the traditional view, these 18 sciences, together with the 64 kalas, arts and skills, constituted the complete landscape of learning. They remain a profound reminder that education in the Indic vision was never merely vocational or purely speculative, but a path of self-culture leading from the particular to the universal. Shanti, 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 Shanti.